Hello everyone and welcome to the Blue Blouse channel. Now if you're new here, I welcome you, and if you're old, of course, without you my YouTube door would be closed. In today's video, it's gonna be the first video in a 4-part series that will be talking about hair braiding. Alright, so in this video I'm going to give you an overview into what hair braiding is, what to expect, the fun part of it, and also the bad side of it. I'm not in a blue blouse, I'm actually in a blue sweat jacket, and when I was ready to edit this video I realized that I deleted my intro. So here is hair braiding and overview, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and leave your experience below. Do you like braids? Do you not like them? Do you prefer to do them with extensions, or do you prefer to just play it natural? Let me know. And don't forget, I'm on my way to 100 subscribers. I know I'm not yet at 50, but why set the bar at 50? I'm just gonna go for 100 subscribers. If you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, hit it and be a part of the Blue Blouse family. And also, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. The more thumbs up this video gets, the more YouTube will push it. I mean, I'm doing this for fun, but of course I would like to build a platform on here where I share my hair experience with you, or I be a voice for you in sharing your hair experience with other people and things like that. Now let me stop chatting and let's get into this video. Alright, so the first thing I should let you know is what I mean by the term braids. It is simply any form of plaits, twists, or cornrows that includes some form of extension hair that is going to be added to your hair, which is something looking like this, or pre-made hair that can be added with a latch hook needle or a ventilating needle. So it can be either something looking like this that you're going to add with your own hands, or something looking like this which the machine made already. So when I refer to braids, I'm going to be talking about both of these, but mostly this when I say braids. Most of the tips that I'm talking about is going to be about braiding extensions with synthetic or human hair. So I thought you should know that. And a prime example of braids is myself. Right now I am wearing some box braids that are about 2 weeks old. My braids are in the pattern of a plait, and you can see what I'm going on with here, and they have been rotted on the ends. Why get braids in the first place? For some people it is a mark of spirituality as well as culturalism. And some people get braids because they just are aesthetically pleasing, and who doesn't want to look as beautiful as me, right? Then you have the ease of styling as well as protective styling. So for people like me with textured hair who have hair goals, hashtag hair goals, you want to grow your hair to a longer length, you put your hair in a protective style such as this one and you leave it alone, and that gives you the option to have zero manipulation for a while. Alright, but with regards to protective styling, you can install your braids safely and still don't retain any length, but we'll talk about that in the future video. Alright, but overall braids are just nice. Braids can be nice to have once you know the proper techniques to install them and to also take them out, and how to prepare your hair in order for you to keep them for a long time. Alright, some of the types of hair that they use to braid hair falls into 2 major categories. You have human hair and you have synthetic hair. But the majority of people will use synthetic hair because number one, it's cheap, and number two, it will last so much longer. So if I had an option to go with human hair for braiding extensions and synthetic hair, I would choose synthetic hair all the time. Alright, you do have some people that are allergic to synthetic hair when they braid their hair, but there are ways around that. As a matter of fact, these days you have hypoallergenic braiding hair. So if you tend to have some itching when you get braiding, there are ways around that. You just have to search on the internet for hypoallergenic braiding hair, or you can rinse them in apple cider vinegar. With the synthetic braiding hairs, you have several different types of fibers. There are three main fibers when it comes to synthetic hair, but the main two are Kanekalon and Toyokalon. So the most heat resistance is Kanekalon, and that's the most popular one used. Toyokalon, I mean, I've used it before, but I don't like it. Do you know the type of hair that those cheap Barbies have? Not the original ones, the cheap ones that has that never-ending stretching plastic. That's what Toyokalon feels like, in my opinion. So I just stick to Kanekalon fibers. They are the most heat resistant to work with anyway. Let's talk about color. That's the fun part about getting your hair braided. Braids are a great way to add color to your hair if you don't want to damage your own hair. You don't have to braid your whole head like I did. If you want to put little streaks in your hair, that can be arranged, alright? Now, let's talk about color range, alright? With braiding hair, you have every color imaginable. You have pink, white, black, gray. By the way, not a lot of people know that gray braiding extensions exist, but they do exist. Pretty much every color of the rainbow, there is braiding hair to match it, okay? And you also have bright colors like neon pink, neon green, you have yellow. As I said, every bright color that there is on earth, there is a braiding extension to match that. And if you're somewhat of a traditionalist like me, you don't really go for the crazy colors. You have blacks, browns, reds, blondes, and what's the other one? Yeah, that's pretty much the traditional spectrum. Let me give you a little short lesson on braiding colors. Number 1, 1B, and 2 range from jet black to natural black. So for example, this color that I'm holding up, this is the crochet braid that I showed you before. This is a 1B. So this is what 1B looks like. And you know that color number 1 is going to be a little bit more black than that, jet black. As a matter of fact, I have jet black in my hair. So that's what the jet black look like. That's what the jet black looks like. You can see the 1B and you can see color number 1. But it's hard to tell on camera. Going on to color number 3 and color number 4, they are dark browns. Now in the red section now, you have something looking like this. This Marley here is color number 350. And it's a copper sunset in persons. It has a little red in it and it has a little orange in it, but not looking like an orangutan. So this is a nice color to wear, especially if you're dark. This looks really great. Alright, and then onto the blondes now. We have a color like number 27. I don't even know what shade blonde this is, but this is a color number 27. Alright, so I covered the straight colors and I covered the blacks. Now we are going to talk about the burgundies. I'm also going to show you an ombre option. By the way, you have ombres in any color. So this is T1B30. By the way, anything that you see with a T in front of it, it is usually an ombre color. So you can see it goes from dark all the way to light. So the 1B30 part would be black mixed in with a little bit of color number 30. So if you look here, you will see color number 30, and most companies keep the color system in place. So I'm going to assume that the T stands for transition because it transitions from one color to the other. Alright, this is T1B30. By the way, whenever you see the numbers are mixed like with a color number 1, it just means that there is black with some highlights of the color in it. So the 1B would be something looking like this, and the 30 would be something looking like this, and they just mix the two of them together, so you kind of get something like this. So it's like little highlights in it. So the 1B part of the T would be the mix of the black and the brown here, and then it transitions into color number 30 right here. By the way, I have the T1B30 in my hair. Notice that you can see a subtle bit of color and then it just transitions to brown. Wow. And by the way, you don't necessarily have to stick to the color that comes in the packaging. You can always do a custom color. For example, you can have all your hair be in like a jet black like this, and then you can probably streak it with a few blonde highlights or red or blue or whatever color you choose. All right, don't be stuck in a box. You have a lot of colors to choose from. Okay, don't say I didn't tell you. I must tell you that braids have different categories, just like how people have curly braids and straight braids and wavy braids. You also have the same thing when it comes to hair types in braiding. So let me give you an example. This color number 27 that I'm holding, this is Kanekalon hair, but you can see that it's straight and a little bit textured. All right, you have Kanekalon hair that is much straighter than this. You have hair like this, which is Marley hair, that would be a better match for someone with my type of hair. As you know, I have type 4 hair, so this would hold good in my hair. And you also have kinky, curly, and slightly wavy. Every type of textured hair there is a type of texture braiding hair to match that. And by the way, when you get your hair done in a salon, if it feels firm when you are at the salon, it is going to be tight at home. So if someone is braiding your hair and you feel it, you can feel that it's firm, tell them to pull it out. It's going to be too tight. You're going to get some bumps along your hairline, and you might just get traction alopecia. So be careful. If it's firm in the salon, it's going to be tight at home. Keep that in mind. Alright? So some reasons why people don't get their hair braided. Number one, it's too heavy or it's too thin. Sometimes you look on Instagram and other social media platforms and you see some braids and you're like, oh my gosh, they look so nice, but they also look so heavy. They just look like a headache waiting to be happen. No one wants that. As well as the opposite can be true. Some people, when they braid hair, they don't use enough hair. In other words, they don't taper the hair properly, so you just have this fat beginning and a skinny end. I'm going to show you how to have the right balance. It's better that you have thin braids and fix it rather than you have thick braids and have to be pulling out your hair. For example, my braids were done really thinly, but I added some volume on the bottom by just simply curling the ends. So that is one of the techniques that you can use when you braid your hair thinly. There are a lot of techniques that you can use to lessen the volume of hair that you use on your head, but also to let the hair on your head appear fuller. Alright, so you don't have to have a lot of hair to have thick looking braids. I will tell you more about that in an upcoming video. Yes, so those are the top two reasons why people shy away from braids. Number one, they might be too heavy, and number two, they might be too tight. And three major reasons why people get braids is one, it's pretty. Number two, it's protective styling. And number three, it saves time. And that, my friends, is the end of the video. If you think I missed anything with the overview of braiding, be sure to comment down below and be interactive with me and your fellow watchers, okay? It's bye from the Blue Blouse channel. See you again next time. Bye.